This video, we will talk about how do I know as a coach when my event submission has been approved. Okay, so I'm looking at the calendar, and as you can see, there's a lot of entries out here, and like we've discussed already, I can hide and filter and things like that. Be careful on what you hide and filter, because you might inadvertently hide your own submission, so just be aware of that. So I put in my submission, and just as a reminder, the guidelines are that for the grades 3, 4 or the U10s, they can request 60-minute practice times. For the grades 5 and 6 or the U12s, they can request 75-minute practice times. And then for the 14s and 14 plus, if you want, for the high schools, they can request 90-minute practice times. Okay, so those are the guidelines. So I put in a submission on for a Monday night at 7 o'clock, looking at the screen. You can see it right here. Let's click here so I can see my submission right here with the details. So when I put it in, it went in with the red as being an event submission. And then what I can see here is if I hover over it again, I can see that it's now been added to it with a Parker and Soccer Stadium calendar. So what does that mean? Well, that means that Mike, or the president, has been looking at the calendar, and he's earmarked my submission to go either to Parker or to the stadium. It's not yet confirmed because it still has the soccer submission, event submission calendar is still visible. So Mike is just looking at all the submissions and trying to figure out who goes where based on our permits, based on what teams we have going out. So he's, we'll be making adjustments. But at this point, I'm earmarked to be either Parker, Upper Parker, or the stadium, but it's not yet confirmed. So how do I know when mine has been confirmed? Well, if I go to Tuesday night, the 7th, I can see here one of my submissions is right here. If I hover over it, I can see here that the event submission calendar has been deleted. So now that tells me that my practice has been confirmed at the stadium from 7 to 8:30 p.m. on April 7th with the repeats as needed. Okay, so again, that's how I can tell. And then these, I covered it earlier in a different video about how I can find my own submissions, which is why it's important that you use your email address and use your team names correctly so you can find your content easily. So I'm going to go up here to the top right, hit the magnifying glass, and I'm going to search on my email address. All right, pick my date range. So I'm going to say just go April 1st again through, that's fine, through end of October. I go and hit search, and you're going to see that came up very quickly my submissions. So like I say, that's why it's so important to follow a process here so we can, you and us can find what you've entered. So I can see that my event here on Monday nights has got 3 rows because they're for each different calendar. But I can see right now it still has the event submission. Therefore, it has not been approved. The one on Tuesday night, I can see does not have the event submission calendar anymore. So I know it has been approved. Okay, so just a reminder about that. And again, if I go into this, remember I can set up my own reminders as well for my sessions. So I can go in here and enable this, and I covered that in another video as well. All right, that's how you know when your submission has been approved. Thank you.